Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Tanya Otterstein-Liehs, Empowering Mindful Health and Wellness Coach. I want to welcome you again, ladies, for coming here and listening to my podcast, where we are transforming your lives by changing your mindset. And I have today here Leslie, and it was really, really exciting how I met Leslie. Hi, Leslie. We happened to be both at a school event, and the school was really promoting, awareness and health and wellness in the students as well as the parents in the community. And I happened to be there. And as you know, listeners, I was the kind of opener or the keynote speaker. And afterwards, the parents were able to walk around. But afterwards, I kind of walked around again because I didn't get a chance to meet everybody. And then all of a sudden Leslie comes and stops me and she says, "Oh my gosh, you are like, what you mentioned is what we're about." So that's what Leslie, I love that, because you're recognized in the whole health and wellness community. And for someone that is recognized as a lifestyle coach, a transformational coach, and the fact that you get it, that it's more about just the body and what you eat. You get it, that it's so much about mindset. And I love that. So listeners, in case you're wondering who Leslie is, she is CTV's health and lifestyle specialist. Of course, she's a certified personal trainer, an empowerment coach, and she's actually known across North America, CNN, as well as CTV Networks. She's an empowering coach, has this amazing energy, and just when you're around her, lovely listeners, you'll just feel the positive energy and how she shines about, it's the mindset and it's creating balance. So I love the fact that, we shared that same passion and connection. Yeah. So thank you very much, Leslie, for giving me your time today. I appreciate this. I love doing these conversational interviews. So can you let the listener know, please, Leslie, who you are and, what you do to help your people, your women, your clients out there?
Well, you use the word, and I was going to use that word. You use the word transformer, right?
Yes.
Because just like you, what I do is really help transform people's lives, just like you said. I have a varied background. So my background is actually media, and I did a little bit of a big career change probably about 10 years ago, where I left that and doing really what I love and passionate about, which goes back to fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So through the Buff Mom Boot Camp, it's a group personal training and life coaching program throughout Southwestern Ontario, and through the Buff Mom TV and other things where you work one-on-one with people. It's just helping people transform lives. So getting in touch with passions and finding a way to get there, and then taking the steps to get there. So that's really what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah. And, I love how you believe in the same philosophy and what the Buff Mom stands for, right? That it's beyond the fitness and exercise. It's beyond the healthy eating, but it's, who are you? Like making that, mind transition, saying you need to give yourself, moms, time for yourself and recognize that and give yourself permission, and not letting your fears or excuses create a barrier. And, it's amazing. It's amazing. And Leslie, if I can ask you, because I know our listeners want to know, what has you continue to thrive and do what you do and live with this passion as, the Buff Mom?
It's really getting in touch with what you really want. And I'm a big believer in what's inside is reflected outside. So I think that if we have the troubles happening in our lives, or things, maybe a bumpy road, we've really got to look within. So answering your question, in order for me to continue doing what I do every day, and that is, empowering women just like you do, it's important that I stay empowered, and it's important that I stay connected. And I'm a big meditator. I'm a meditator. I meditate. Two times a day. It's something I've been doing for about 3 to 4 years, because I find there's so much noise out there. right?
Mm,
With especially
gosh.
social media and
Yeah.
communications. And I can say, as a former news media person, news media, I mean, it's everywhere. So it's really about shutting off that voice,
Yeah.
because I believe that inside each one of us, we have the truth. We just
Hmm.
have to be quiet and
Yeah.
listen to it. So, in order for me to remain passionate and focused on what I do, I have to meditate. I have to take care of myself. Self care is number one. And, it does slide sometimes. And I know that's when things are off and I've got to get back to it. So,
Yeah.
hope that answers your question. But it's
Yeah.
me staying motivated.
Yeah, I love, Leslie, how you said, when I heard these words, it struck out when you said connection
Yes.
and looking inside and listening to your body and your mind. And that connection is, okay, whoa, I'm stressed. Like, I'm feeling like this. I need to take a few minutes, step away and get reconnected and let go of that stress and get calm again and come to my balanced space. So I love those words you used. And do you find, Leslie, when you say meditation, because I mean, it can mean so many things. So for an example, to me, even meditation, when I do, can even be when I just step away, focus and connect with my breath,
Yes.
tune out everything. So do you find you do that as well? Or how is your meditation that you do, Leslie?
So as you said, there's so many different types of meditation, and it can be as simple as taking time and breathing. I practice a certain type of meditation. It's called transcendental meditation, and different types of meditation, as you start to explore, and you probably know this too. They hit different parts of the brain.
Yeah.
So I was really interested, as a female entrepreneur, especially strengthening the frontal, so strengthening this area, and that has to do with better decision making, confidence,
Yeah.
staying grounded. So transcendental meditation is something that I found really works for that. So it's a specific practice twice a day, 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night. Now, on top of that, there's mindful meditation, there's relaxed breathing, there's just being in the moment. All of that stuff I do as well, but I find I really have benefited from
Mm.
transcendental meditation, called TM. It's called TM.
For sure. Lovely, lovely. And 20 minutes. I mean, who doesn't have 20 minutes, right? We do, but women think they don't.
That when you do it, you have
Yeah.
more time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you nailed it right there. And, speaking of making time and taking that, you have a really exciting program happening that you're launching again in the fall. So can you tell our listeners about your program that you have launching in the fall, please?
Sure. We like to talk about, getting started in September, and we've discussed this before. We started to record this.
Yeah.
September is like the go-to, right? It's you want to get back into the groove after you've been off for the summer. So we've got our fall jumpstart starting, and it's really a program to just get you back into fitness, especially if you've maybe taken a couple of years off, or maybe you haven't exercised at all and you need something that can help you with food, can help you with mindset, kind of put it all together. And that kicks off at the end of September, which is about the same time you're doing your great event coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So cool.
I'm really excited about that. It's the first annual. I'm hosting it. It's called the Ultimate Women's Health and Wellness Event or Fair. And what it is I have guest speakers, presenters. It's an all day. It's happening Saturday, September the 29th in Waterloo. It's on Eventbrite. And we are planning this amazing event. The fact that there's no vendors, there's nothing that's going to be sold, because there's enough of that out there, right? So it is a time where the ladies that are going to come, sorry, men, it's not open for you, but the ladies are going to come in, listen to, guest speakers. It's about self-love, gaining your self-confidence, not letting the barriers that we all face, allow ourselves to come forth, getting through them, wearing a stronger cape, and talking about gut health, hormonal issues, how we deal with that, what foods can, eat.
Hormones are big.
Yeah. And then, of course, a wonderful, wonderful lunch by Chopped Leaf I'm having catered. And then the afternoon, it's for a nice, fun movement, Zumba into a Pilates, shoulder mobility, very basic. And then finishing off with intuitive healing session where
Oh,
having
nice.
simple, getting reconnected when all your energies have been sucked out of you,
Oh,
getting reconnected. And then there's awesome door prizes. I'm really, really excited about this. Tickets just
that's
went on
great.
sale. So yeah. And if I can go back, Leslie, too, I loved, again, just, thinking about the wellness event I have, and you mentioned mindset. That is what I believe in, like a triangle, right? Like your fall
Oh,
program.
yeah, yeah.
Balanced eating is one, movement or exercise. Sometimes I like to use movement because people
Right.
sometimes when they hear exercise, it's like,
They just think
like
more on
CrossFit or, yeah,
yeah,
crazy.
no, we just want to move. Yeah, right. I
And
get
then mindset, because, and I feel strongly from talking to you that it doesn't matter how much you move your body or exercise. It doesn't matter how healthy or balanced you eat. If your mindset
yes.
is not in a good place, then nothing is going to work together, and nothing is going to be balanced, and you're never ever going to feel good about yourself. You're always going to have negative self-talk.
It's
So
like the Band-Aid, right? You put a Band-Aid
yeah,
on, but you're
yeah,
not actually going to what's causing the wound, which is
exactly,
fear. So you got to change that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I love that when you mentioned that, because it was like boom, it's so true. So that's what I love about the fall program that you mentioned, because same thing that I do when I do my fitness classes. It's beyond this. Like let's change your mindset, right?
Yeah.
What was the best thing about today? And every day ends with something positive. It doesn't matter how awful your day was, there's always one positive thing.
Yeah.
And waking up and looking at your self-reflection and giving yourself a compliment for something, because there's always something beautiful, something always positive about yourself.
Yeah.
And I love how you really bring forth that message and share it with your, what I call, your tribe. So
Yeah.
yeah. And Leslie, speaking of which, I can see in the back, buff mom.
Okay.
So the listeners, when they want to say, oh, I want to know more about Leslie,
Yeah.
how can they find you? Like social media, website? And again, listeners, I will be adding it on the bottom, how you can find Leslie and connect with her as well. But could you please let our listeners know, Leslie? That'd be
Sure.
wonderful.
You know what? Website, thebuffmom.com. Even on Twitter under the Buff Mom. We've got Instagram, the Buff Mom, everywhere. Or even just, send me an email, Leslie at the Buff Mom. And I'd
Yeah.
love to connect with you and chat with you.
Excellent, excellent. Now, Leslie, I really, want to know these answers to these 3 questions that I ask every health and wellness expert, because okay, we know about Leslie, what you do as an entrepreneur, what your passion is, but separate from Leslie, the mom, the wife, these
Yeah.
are 3 questions I always love asking as a closing. What is a quote
Oh,
that you live by?
okay. I'm a quote person, and I could go on for hours. So I think, the one that makes a big difference is the Henry Ford quote. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
Pointing to the notion of you got to get it in your mind. It was a Buddha quote, also said, "What you think you become." And we talk a lot about that in the Buff Mom. It's beliefs, right? You got to truly believe.
Yeah.
I also, this is I know you only asked me for one, but this is another important. This is important because people listening, I think you can relate to this. It's all about the small steps, one little thing at a time, and not to get overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. And I think that's Robert Collier. That's another one of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and going on with that quick before I ask you the other 2 questions, it's the baby steps, right, are so important. I always, when women come up to me, they say they want to do this, and I said, okay, I'm going to be really honest with you. If you do that 180, you are going to fail within the first 30 to 90 days. And they're like, really? I said, yeah, because if you've never gone this route before, it's going to be really hard to lead to success. You need to look at the baby steps, right? If you've never drank I'll say enough water throughout the day. Starting that is a baby step to achieving your goal.
Right.
And when you say like, wow, I didn't do this before and now I do, like that is setting yourself up for self-confidence and self-love. So yeah, that is a great, great quote. What about advice? What is the number one advice that you can share with our listeners?
Okay, well, it was going to be small steps, but I think we talked about that. Not to get overwhelmed. The other piece of advice, and this is a big thing, and I've been doing this as you've been doing this for many years, but I think really people, the answers are within. The answers are within. If you're having any issues, you got to ask the question and be quiet and listen for the answer. And that comes to your health, comes to your fitness. It's not, a program. It's not a diet. The answer is within.
Yeah.
But you got to ask the question and be willing to listen to the answer. That's the thing. We got to be willing to listen to the answer that comes and quiet enough to hear it.
Lovely. That is great advice because no one listens, right? You think you do, but then what you heard, are you following through? So that is great. And sticking
and
to
we're
it.
hearing all of the
Noise.
else's stuff, right?
Yeah.
And there's always a reason behind that noise. Selling your product, getting you to believe this. You know what? You got to go inside.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing is a quick fix, right? Go with, that is amazing. That is great advice. Now, the last thing, other than your family, because as moms, of course, our families are, so vital to us as well. But other than your family, if this was the last day of your life, Leslie, what is one thing you would be grateful for?
That's a very big question you're asking.
It is. I know.
And you said you asked this to everybody?
I do. And I always say, no family, because that is number one.
I think I would have to say the opportunity for life itself. The opportunity to evolve and the opportunity to really, it's a blank slate and us to create the life that we want and the inspiration behind it.
Lovely. Creating the life that you want. Loving it. And using that inspiration to continue.
Just the opportunity to be here, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you so much, Leslie, for your time. I appreciate it. Listeners, again, I'll have all the links underneath so that you know how to reach Leslie. So thank you very much for listening. Remember, on the right side here, on the right side, subscribe so you never miss any of my wonderful podcasts with these wonderful women in the health and wellness industry. Thumbs up, hearts, and of course, number one is always, love yourself, look in the reflection, say something positive, and end your day with wonderful, great things that happened. Have a wonderful day yourself, Leslie, and thank you again very much. Take care. Bye-bye.